Hello guys, this is Mohsin Azam interacting with you from my YouTube channel Business Innovation. Today we are going to start the second part of our lesson number 9 of Planning Engineer and Primavera P6 tutorials. So today we will discuss percent completion types in Primavera P6. So if we see here, this is our activity window. In activity window we have here general. In general we have activity types which was discussed before, and duration types, this we will discuss in upcoming lesson. Percent completion types, this we will discuss today. So actually we have three types of percent completion type. One is duration, the second one is physical, and the third one is units. So these three types we will discuss in today's lesson. What is actually the percent completion types? This is actually the procedure of calculating the progress or actual in Primavera P6. So once we have done with our program, our baseline, and our baseline is completed, then we have to start updating of our program based on the site progress. So how we will calculate the site progress in Primavera P6? There are actually three procedures which we will discuss today. The first one is duration. So now duration percent complete. So what is actually the duration percent complete? Change in duration percent complete will change the remaining duration, and change in the original duration or remaining duration will change the duration percent complete. First of all, here we have one activity which is activity A, and we have the percent completion type for this activity is duration, and here we have certain columns which is activity percent complete. This is actually the percentage completion for a specific activity. Then we have three types: duration percent complete, unit percent complete, and physical percent complete. These are the three types are based on which we can update our progress. It depends on your choice and based on the condition and based on the type of activity, that which duration type you should have to keep for the updating the progress. And then we have the remaining duration for the activity, which is equal to the total duration because the activity is not started. And then we have the actual duration. So once we start the activity and start updating the program, then actual duration will increase from 0, and at completion is the total number of days at the completion of the activity, which is 5. Means that once the activity started, and then how many days this activity will complete, these will be the number of days at completion. So first of all we will start with the duration percent complete. So if we go to the general tab, status tab, in status tab, now first of all if we have to update this activity, first of all we have to start this activity. So you have to click the start here from here. So it means now actually this activity is started. Then you have to select the date based on which date this activity was started or is started. So for example, this activity is started on 2nd and the planned date was 1st of September. So I select the 2nd of September was the starting date of this activity. Now here we have the duration percent, as we keep here the percent completion type as duration. So here duration percent will come. Then we have to keep here the percentage completion. So here I will keep 50%. Now you see the activity percent complete is 50. It means this activity is now also completed 50%, and the duration percent complete is also 50. This unit and physical will not discuss here. The performance percent complete is also 50. The remaining duration is 2.5, and at completion is 2.5. This duration we can see from here. Original duration was 5. Actual duration is 0 because we start this activity but we did not run the project. So after running the project, the program will start calculating the actual duration, and the remaining duration is 2.5, and at completion the duration will be 2.5. So now what we have to do, first of all we have to run the project, and I want to run this project not on the 1st September, but this activity started on 1st September, and now for example if 2 days is elapsed on the Sunday, we want to check the progress or the status of the project. And now I will schedule the, now if you see here we have original duration as 5 days, actual duration is 1 day, and remaining duration is 2.5, and at completion it will be 3.5. Why 3.5? The original duration was 5, but we complete 50% just in 1 day, so the program itself will recalculate that approximately in how many days this activity will be completed. So at completion the duration will be 3.5. In the duration percent complete, what we have to do, we have to start only the activity and then we have to define the percentage completion for this activity, and the program itself will calculate the remaining duration and at completion duration. So you have nothing to do, only simply you have to start the activity and then you have to define the percentage completion for this activity, and the program itself will calculate all the other factors like remaining duration at completion duration. And similarly, if you see here, this actually the resource assigned to this activity. If you see here, the budget unit was 5 and the actual unit is now calculated, it is 3, and the remaining it is actually 2.5, and the remaining unit is 2.5, and at the completion it will be 5. So simple is that in the duration percent complete, after starting the activity and defining the percentage completion, it will calculate the remaining duration and the actual for the resources also. Okay. Now next is physical percent complete. Physical percent complete type is based on the work physically achieved on the activity. So in the duration percent complete, as we discuss, we are using for those activities for which the duration of the activity is the important factor. Means that we don't have to see the physical progress on the activity, but we are focusing on the duration of the activity, and the physical progress is not important in terms of duration percent complete. Now physical percent complete type is based on the physical work progress achieved on the activity. It depends that how much physically the work is completed on the specific activity. Here physical percent complete value and remaining duration are not linked. Here, as we discuss in case of duration percent complete, that once we put the percentage completion against the activity, the remaining duration will be recalculated automatically, but here it will not be calculated. So physical percent complete does not compute the remaining duration. So after defining the physical percent complete, it will not calculate for us the remaining duration. So once you enter the physical percentage against the activity, you should have to update the remaining duration for this activity also. In physical percent complete type, you have to input the remaining duration or expected calendar finish date. So either you have to define that how much is the duration remaining for this activity, or you have to define the expected completion date for this activity. So step to update the activity when percent type is physical. First you have to enter the percentage the activity is completed in the physical percent complete field. So first you have to enter the percentage, then you have to add the remaining duration or expected completion date, and then you have to update the actual units for the resources. So this we will witness in Primavera P6. Now we have this activity, which is activity B. The duration for this activity is 5 days and we have the percent complete type as physical. Now what we will do, we will go to status and we will start this activity, and we will select Friday as a start date for this activity. And now the first step is you have to define the percentage completion for this activity. So I will define here 50%. Okay, if you see here, now the physical percent is 50, performance is 50. Next, what we have to do, we have to define the remaining duration for this activity. So remaining duration I will put here as 3 days remaining duration. And next we have to go to the resources. Sorry, we don't have the resource for this, so we will define the resource for this. First of all, add resource. We will go to this physical, we will add this resource to this activity. Add. Okay, budget unit I will define as the original duration is 5 days, so here I will define the budget unit as 5 days. And now here we will define the actual units, which here in this case is, for example, I want to keep actual unit as 2.5, which is completed, and you have to update the remaining also 2.5. And now I will run the project by function F9 and I will schedule on 4. See, now we have the activity percent as 50, duration is 40%, and performance is 50%. Remaining duration is 3 days and actual duration is 1 day. So from the status we can see the total duration original was 5, actual is 1 day, remaining is 3 days, and at completion total duration will be 4 days. So for the physical percent complete, you have to first update the percentage completion for this activity, then you have to define the remaining duration, or here you can fix the expected completion date. So here we have 7. If you want to fix 8 as the expected completion date. See here now, remaining duration will change and at completion will also change. And see now the duration is also, duration percent complete is also changed, because if we see here, we start the activity on the 2nd September, and if we check F9, it is 4. It means if we see the calendar, there is one holiday also in general, 5-day standard work week, so we have holidays there. So after starting the activity on 2nd September, only 1 day is passed, so the remaining duration is 5 days, actual is 1 day, and total duration at completion will be 5 days. And then after updating the remaining or expected completion date, you have what you have to do, you have to go to the resources and you have to put here the actual resources complete, actual units completed here 2.5, and here 2.5 is remaining, and then you have to run the project by clicking F9 schedule. So physical percent complete, you have to update three things. First of all, you have to update the percent completion for each activity, then you have to define the remaining duration or expected completion date, then you have to update each resources. So here in the program we have only one resource. If you have number of resources, you have to update the actual and remaining units for all the resources, and then you have to run the project, so it will calculate the physical progress. Okay, next we have unit percent complete. So in unit percent complete, specify that the activity percent complete will be calculated from the actual units and at completion units. So in unit percent complete, as it's clear from the name, that unit percent complete is related to the units or the resource units assigned to the activity. So unit percent complete will calculate the progress on activity when you input the actual units and the units at completion to a specific activity. So what is actually unit percent complete? Unit percent complete is actual units of any resource divided by the total units at completion multiplied by 100. This will give us the unit percent complete. So to progress an activity, each resource actual units and remaining units must be updated manually. If you want to keep the unit percent complete for any activity, to calculate the progress, you should have to update the actual units for each activity and remaining units manually for each activity. Remaining duration will be calculated based on the remaining units. Remaining duration is equal to remaining units divided by unit per time. So this we'll discuss in Primavera. In unit percent complete, you should have to update the labor units and the remaining duration both. So now what we will do, here we have this activity. See, we have 5 days duration for this activity, and we have the percent completion type as unit. So now what we will do, first we will check whether this activity have any resource. Unit percent complete you can keep for those activities for which you have the resources assigned. So we have one resource assigned here. What we will do now, we have to go to the status tab, we have to start the activity, we have to keep the start date for this activity, which is Friday, select, and here now you need to define the unit percent for this activity. What you have to do, you have to go to your resources, and here you have to put your actual units. So by keeping actual units as 2.5, remaining units as 2.5. So here we have remaining units as 3. Remaining units, here we have budget units per time. We can bring here customize budget unit per time, and here I will bring a remaining unit per time also. This is the remaining unit per time. Apply. Okay. So here if you see, remaining unit per time is 1 and remaining unit is 3. It is actually 2.5. What we will do, we will go to edit, user preferences, and here we'll keep here 1 decimal so that you can understand, and close. So here see, now remaining units is 2.5. So as we discuss here, that remaining duration is remaining unit, which is 2.5 divided by unit per time, which is 1. So 2.5 divided by 1 will be the remaining duration. So if we see here from the general, from the status story, we have the remaining duration as this. We have to input also as 2.5. What we did here, by keeping the unit percent complete, what you have to do, you have to go to your resource and you have to define your actual units, and you have to define your remaining units, and completion unit will be 5, because at completion unit is actually the sum of actual units and remaining units. If you want to keep the remaining units as 3.5, so see, the at completion unit will be 6. And now if you go to status, you have to change here, this is 3.5 also, and see, unit percent complete will be updated automatically here as 25%. So the procedure in case of unit percent complete type as unit, what you have to do, you have to start the activity, you have to go to resource, you have to define the actual units and remaining units, and then you have to come to the status, and you have to define here the remaining duration, and then you have to run your project by clicking F9. So like that you can update your activities. The update of any activity and the type of percent complete depends that which type of activity you are updating. So if you have an activity for which the duration is important, you should have to keep the duration percent complete. And for the activity for which you have the physical, the important is the physical progress, means that the activity for which if you want to calculate the physical progress on the site and you want to update the actual progress on this activity in Primavera, then you should have to keep the physical progress. And if you want to track your project on the units, how much units worked on this activity, means that you have the budget unit for this activator, means the 5 excavator have to work on this activity, and up to now 2.5 units have been worked on this activity, then you should have to keep the unit, the percent completion type as unit, so that you can track your activity based on the resources allocated to this activity. So that's it for today. If you like the video, please subscribe my YouTube channel, and follow my Facebook page, Business Innovation. Thanks for watching.